Hello, everyone. We're going to start our webinar in about 2 minutes. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And welcome to Expressing Creativity, Having Fun with Dramatic Play. We are so happy that you could join us this evening. You might be a little tired. We know it's late. So we tried to make this dramatic play fun webinar interactive and fun. So grab a dinner and enjoy. So we would like to start out by introducing ourselves. So first we'll go my wonderful co-presenter and co-worker, Miss Ida Brower. Hi, Ida.
Hi, Agnes. Good evening, everyone. And as Agnes says, thank you for joining us this evening. So grab a snack or your dinner, and we're going to have fun. We're going to be munching and presenting at the same time. So my name is Ida Brar. I am a quality and education coaching specialist for the ELC of Broward County, serving providers, children, and families in Broward. I was born in a small town in Puerto Rico called Mayagüez. I have my Bachelor's of Science in Early Childhood Education from Barry University and my Master's of Science in Reading from Florida International University. I'm a class certified observer and MMCI trainer for infants, toddlers, and pre-K. And I have worked as an elementary and preschool teacher, and teaching is my passion, it's my love, and I also enjoy traveling, exploring different foods and cultures. And I've been in the early childhood education field for over 20 years. So now, since we're going to be talking about dramatic play, I'm going to put on my mask to entertain you all with all this great information that will be presented to this evening. Aren't you excited? So let the show begin. And now I will introduce my dramatic play co-presenter, Agnes. 3, 2, 1, action. Go, Agnes.
Thank you, Ida, so much for this fun introduction. Um, My name is Agnieszka Bodi, and I am also Quality and Education Coaching Specialist here for ELC of Broward, serving our providers and children in our county. I was born also in small city, but all across the pond in Europe, in small city in Poland. I obtained my Master's of Science in Education from Świętokrzyska Academy University in Poland. I know you can break your tongue pronouncing that. I am a class certified observer, MMCI trainer, infant, toddler, and pre-K. I have also over 20 plus years experience in early childhood education, start in Poland, and I spent some time in London in England, New York, and since 2004, Florida is my home. I worked previously as a preschool teacher and also director, and I love to teach, travel, exploring different food and cultures, so we have that in common with my co-presenter. And I'm so glad to be presenting today for you. I'm also having my dramatic mask, so we about to entertain you, so enjoy. So let's go over a little bit of the webinar housekeeping. So as you can see, on your right hand, you have the go to webinar control panel. So when you click the orange rectangle with the white arrow, you can either open or close the go to webinar control panel. When you click on the question triangle on the bottom, as you can see, You can type any questions you might have throughout this presentation. Our manager of education team is Stephanie Bernard is with us tonight, so she will be keeping track of those questions and answering to them. So thank you, Ms. Stephanie. And if we provided 5 handouts for you, so you can use them in your centers. And so if you want to download them, you can just click on the handouts triangle, and then each handout, when you click on them, the PDF file will open, and you can download them to your laptop or to your device. So when it comes to attendance and credits pre-post test, you know that you completed 5 questions when you registered for this webinar. So thank you for that. Reminder that the ELC Broad trainings are for in-service hours, and the certificate will be emailed to you within 24 hours after this training and sent to the email that you are registered for the webinar with. And then just remember that in order to be marked as an attendant, you must log in into the computer or download the GoToWebinar app on your phone or smart device, tablet, whatever you might have. Because if you just call and you don't see the presentation, then the GoToWebinar platform will not mark you as attendant. So we are not going to be able to issue you a certificate. Also, I mentioned about the 5 questions. So also, after the completion of this training, a posters of 5 questions and training survey of also 5 questions will launch. So please complete all these surveys and posters, because we really value your input. We would like to know if there's any other trainings you would like to for us to present it to you in the future. So let's go over our training. What is the agenda for tonight? So welcome and introduction. We already completed. We're going to go over training objectives for today's presentation, review 5 reasons why dramatic play is important. We're going to talk about creative expression through dramatic play and connect them to Florida Early Learning and Development Standard. We're going to give you some ideas for planning successful dramatic play center, give you some checklists, activities, and interactions, ideas. We're going to have some polls to make it fun for you and get you engaged. We're going to show some videos and then strategies for your classroom. So what are some of the objectives for tonight? We're going to talk about the importance of daily opportunities for creative expression through dramatic play. We're going to highlight the value and importance of pretend play. Like I mentioned in the agenda, creative expression through art domains, Florida Early Learning Standard. We're going to talk about those and how to connect them to the dramatic play. We're going to talk about some benefits of incorporating puppetry with preschool children, highlight 5 reasons why dramatic play matters for child development, and the impact of teacher-child interaction throughout the day. So we have first poll. So let's play and launch the poll. Aida, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready to play. Launch the poll. Yay.
Let's play, everybody. So first poll is, what do you think? Which of the following are included in dramatic play? Physical development, puppetry, fantasy play, or all the above? So please cast your vote. And we're going to give you a little bit of time. We don't see who answered and how, so don't you worry. There is no such a thing like wrong answer. And also a little hint, those questions in the poll just might be the 5 post-test questions, so you might want to pay attention. Okay, we have over 60% already.
Ooh, awesome. Keep clicking, ladies. And maybe gentlemen also, right? Hey, why not?
All righty, we're almost there. Okay, we're almost there. If you are not able to cast the vote in the poll, you can also answer in the question box. So I'm going to close the poll now and share the results. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Majority of you, 80%, said all the above. Yes, the answer is D, all the above. So, well, let's find out in the next slide. So, dramatic play includes role playing, puppetry, and fantasy play. By acting out experience, he or she comes into contact with reality. It is a constructive for the child to remember situations through a play and to have the opportunity to repeat them and work through them. It can be defined as a type of play where children accept an assigned role and then act them out. It is time when they break through the walls of reality, pretend to be someone or something different from themselves, and dramatize situations and actions to go along with the roles they have chosen to play. So, yes, all of the above. So, I would like to start out with this great quote from the great Albert Einstein that play is the highest form of research. We should have children play and tell our parents that homework is not the most important thing. We need to allow children to play. That's how they research and experience, and that's very important. So we will talk about that later. Now let's watch a little video clip of to see importance of dramatic play. Okay, so we watched the first video. From the information that you gathered from the video, we're going to have another poll. So let's play again. Aida, are you ready to play?
Ready to play and launch that poll.
So
Exciting.
our second poll is, which statement reflects the importance of dramatic play? Is it teachers self-regulation, gives children an emotion outlet, teachers conflict resolution, support literacy, or all the above? I'm going to launch the poll. So please cast your vote. Wow, everybody's voting so fast. Thank you so much, guys. Awesome. Wow. Okay, I'm going to close the poll in a second. Oh, we still have votes coming. Once they stopped, I'm going to share the results. Okay. Wow. This is amazing. We have some smart audience tonight. That's right, all the above. So let's discuss that in the next slide, because we're going to talk about 5 reasons why dramatic play matters for child development. So one of as we saw in the little video clip we play, dramatic play is an integral part of child's social, emotional, and cognitive development. And according to NACI, here are the 5 reasons why dramatic play is so important. One of them is dramatic play teaches self-regulation. So toddlers and preschoolers are known for acting impulsively, but dramatic play is a positive stepping stone towards self-regulation. National Association for Education for Young Children, NACI, notes that children tend to be highly motivated to follow rules and stick to the rules of the play. This helps them grow in their ability to inhibit their impulses, coordinate with others, and make plans. Another one is dramatic play gives children an emotional outlet. Dramatic play allows kids to act out scenarios they've seen or heard in real life, giving them an opportunity emotional outlet. Young children do not yet think internally. Children use dramatic play to explore their own thoughts and feelings. This is especially important for children who have seen something upsetting or scary in their daily lives. So dramatic play gives them an opportunity to sort through difficult emotions and practice being in the world. Another one is a dramatic play teaches conflict resolution. Both unstructured and structured dramatic play offers teachable moments about conflict resolution. Disagreements between children will crop up naturally and during unstructured dramatic play, which offers a chance for kids to work through their differences and arrange a compromise. Dramatic play encourages children to resolve conflict, consider alternative perspectives, and recognize the various roles and responsibilities individuals have in our society, according to NACI. And a structured dramatic play encourages children to consider a specific problem and propose their own solutions. The next one is dramatic play support literacy. Dramatic play provides a prime opportunity for kids to see functional print, like newspapers, signs, or menus in action. Kids who are playing grocery store, for example, will be exposed to text in the form of a shopping list, a coupon, and a checkout receipt. This gives them a chance to gain first-hand experience with the many ways we use text in everyday life. Dramatic play can also increase reading comprehension. Kids often choose to act out scenes from a favorite storybook. This gives them a deeper understanding of narrative structure and character motivations found in familiar stories. And the last one, dramatic play allows you to support your kids and encourage their ideas. Like we said above, kids process their inner thoughts and emotions externally through dramatic play. That means you can learn a lot about what makes your kids happy, scared, or frustrated just through observing their pretend play. The next time you see your kids acting as a pirate, firefighter, or chef in a restaurant, pay attention. This is your chance to foster ideas by asking open ended questions or to help your kids work through difficult emotions. And remember, sometimes as simple as an 1 hour of pretend playtime may not seem important, but dramatic play offers proven benefits in children's cognitive learning, according to NACI. And we have to, when we have the scoop now of what dramatic play entails, why it matters, and how you can encourage this activity with your kids, let's watch another video clip about the importance of pretend play, make believe play, whatever you want to call it. And if you want, you can take the screenshot of the slide so you can have the link for the video if you want to watch it again. So I'm going to launch the video and I'll see you soon. So now, when we watch the importance of pretend play video, Ida will walk us through and talk to us about some more details about the pretend play and what are some of the requirements for pretend play. So Ida, take it away.
Thank you, Agnes. So as Agnes mentioned in the previous slides about the importance of pretend play. So let's talk about it a little bit more. So here we go. So there are three key requirements for pretend play. Children engaged in high quality make-believe play when they are, the first one is, children create an imaginary situation. Play includes a pretend scenario that children act out. Their language, actions, and interactions focus on the pretend play. So, for example, children may act out a scenario in which someone take their sick puppy to the veterinarian's office, and then you change the whole dramatic area into that veterinarian's office, which is amazing. The second is children take on and act out roles, and you've seen this in your classrooms. So children take on roles that fit with that imaginary situations in which they are engaging. So their language, their actions, their interactions, their gestures, their body language fits that character, which is relevant to the pretend scenario that they're acting out. So for example, when they're acting out, once again, that they're in the veterinarian's office scenario, each child takes one of the multiple appropriate roles using the speech and the actions of that character. So one child may be the pet owner, while the other child will be the veterinarian, and another child could pretend to be the pet. So children may also use roles with the speech, saying and doing things that their role may say or do in different scenarios. So once again, I will give you an example. The doctor may ask her patient, where does it hurt? And then bandages and pretends to clean the wound and all the wonderful things in order for them to feel better. A waiter may ask his customer, what would you like to order? And you see the child writing it down on a small notebook. The third, children follow a set of rules determined by roles. And sometimes you have that one child that is the rule maker, but Won't get into that right now. So children follow the rules associated with the role that they play and the scenarios that they're enacting. So for example, once again, talking about the veterinarian's scenario, there are certain things that the veterinarian does and doesn't do. So for example, he will take the pet, take the temperature, examine the puppy or the dog or the cat, and they're not going to take the pet home. Who's going to take the pet home? The person who owns the pet. So same goes for that person. The pet owner is not going to take the temperature or bandage the pet if he's hurt. There's different roles, and you'll see the children exactly know kind of what to do, especially if they've had experience taking their own pet to the veterinarian's office. You see this great interaction and role play with our 4s and 5 years olds. So rules are not as rigid with our younger children. Sometimes our younger children will act like 3 or 4 roles because they're not as rigid as maybe that 4 or 5-year-old saying, no, you are the pet and you are this and you are that. So, but it's okay, because what's our role in the children's make-believe play is to support the children's idea. So that's our role as the children are playing. So let's think and share. Okay, your thinking caps on? Yes, my dramatic teachers, here we go. Think of instances in your own learning environment in your classroom when you've seen pretend play contribute to children's learning and development, and you can share that instance in the chat box. I'll give you an example. When I was a preschool teacher, I would see the most wonderful things happening in dramatic play. And a lot of the things that happen in dramatic play, they take from home or other life experiences they have. So you see them in the housekeeping area or dramatic play area, and you see the mom on the cell phone making a salad. She's on the phone ordering pizza. She has a baby in one arm, and she's yelling to, the daddy, hey, get out of the garage. Dinner's gonna be ready. The multitasking of a woman's job is never ending. So let's see. Agnes, do you want to share a little instance maybe that you may have while everyone's thinking and possibly putting in the
Sure.
chat? Okay,
Sure,
thanks.
I would love to. Back in the days when I was a small child, I was around 5 years old. In those days, I didn't go to preschool. I went straight to kindergarten. So I was always playing with my older cousin, and she was older than me, so she was always bossing me around. I always wanted to be a teacher, so we always played school. So she was always the teacher because she was older, so I was the kid in the classroom. And back in the days in elementary school, we had to learn a mandatory, it was Russian. So my older cousin, she already went to big girl school, so she was learning Russian, and I was this 5-year-old kid that we were playing school, and she was teaching me Russian alphabet, which is very difficult because Russian alphabet is completely different. They have different symbols and letters. So that's how when we played dramatic play at home, we pretended that we play school. She had a big impact for my development because she taught me the Russian alphabet. So as a kid of 5 years old, I already knew the Russian alphabet, and when then I went to elementary school, I already knew Russian alphabet. So that's good memories. So thank you.
Thank you, Agnes. That's a great story, and that's what children do. As they're growing and pretending with family members, they bring that in, and then, but you knew deep in your heart that you were going to be an educator, Agnes. So yay! So we shared our little ones, and if you didn't have time to put it in the chat box, you can always get in contact with us and email your great stories on how the learning environment when you see pretend play. So we'll move right along because dinner is served soon. So here we go. Pretend play stretches across the Florida early learning and development standards that we all have and all are probably know. So I'm going to break it down. First, I'm going to look at the infants and toddlers, and I'll talk about them first. So children's creativity and play using familiar objects in a new way and showing imagination is primarily found in the approach to learning domain under the subdomain of creativity. Did you know that? Yes, you did. I know you know that. So when infants and toddlers begin to engage in reciprocal play, like passing a ball back and forth or imitating peers or adults, and you see that with the infants and toddlers, a lot of imitation, or using one object to stand for another object, like using a block and they pretend it's a phone. They're demonstrating the cognition domain, which is on the subdomain, imitation and symbolic representation and play. And I know you all knew that. Kiss your brain. So let's jump to the preschoolers. And our preschoolers use a lot of language. So children use their growing language and literacy skills in the make believe and pretend play as they're holding and maintaining conversations with their peers. For example, they might read from a menu while playing in the pretend restaurant. And these skills are under language and literacy domain in the Florida standards. Another thing is when children are engaged in positive interactions and cooperative play. So, because that's when you see it with the 4 and 5-year-olds, the cooperative play, they're demonstrating skills in social and emotional development domain under the subdomain of relationship with other children. See all the plethora of information that's happening right now. So as children play becomes more complex, they begin to create goals, plans, and assign roles for the make-believe play scenarios. Encouraging children to use their home language during make-believe play is an important part of the connection of the make-believe play with the families. Remember, we're all connected as a family, the school, the children, the teachers, cultures, and developmental goals. So for example, you can support children's sense of identity and belonging, which is social and emotional development, by incorporating key words or phrases in the child's home language to help them connect between the play and their home language. And you can also further support children who are dual language learners or children who are learning a tribal language by talking with the families about acceptable makeup, make believe themes, dress up attire, the behaviors that you can help them to meet children's needs while being considerate of their cultural practices. So like I said, it's one big happy family, it's all connected. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about play themes versus curriculum themes. Sometimes you kind of hear these two terms, so we're going to break it down this evening. So a curriculum unit is usually dictated by a curriculum that is being implemented in the center, and it may focus on a concept such like, okay, this unit is going to be about transportation, or a general event of like the harvest, and describes the contents and skills children will learn in that unit. So a theme play involves pretend scenarios and pretend roles and the relationship between the roles. So you can have a theme play can be inspired by a curriculum unit. For example, the curriculum unit is going to talk about things that grow. So the possible inspiration theme, play theme that you can have in your classroom is turning that housekeeping or dramatic play into a farmer's market. So make sure playthings are grounded in the children's real life experiences and build on their interests and take advantage of what's occurring in the environment. So let's say, for example, there's some construction going out the window and they want to talk about it and start doing play scenarios inside the classroom. Or there's a bird nesting nearby, or families expecting a new baby. Oh, how wonderful. Try bringing a few items into the learning environment to see how children respond to the scenarios and the themes. And then lastly is enthusiasm is contagious. So if an adult in the classroom is interested and enthusiastic about children, they will be interested and enthusiastic as well. So be mindful in choosing a theme that children are unfamiliar with. For example, if there is no children in your program with pets and none of them have ever experienced that with animals or other animals, you may take a field trip to the veterinarian's office or have him or her come to the school, and you can set up that theme in your dramatic play area. And when children can play out their experience, they use pretend play to clarify and extend their learning. So, it has to be meaningful to them. Okay, so still going on with play themes inspired by units. So looking at this slide, play themes are often inspired by curriculum unit, as I say, or studies, though it is not a requirement. So here we have on the left-hand side some unit study examples. So let's say that curriculum is for that month is talking about transportation. And the themes that you can have in your classroom is an airport, you can have a train station, a car dealership, a cruise ship, can be some of the play themes that you can have. The other one is about animals. Let's have a zoo, a farm, a vet's office, or even a pet store in the dramatic play area. Another unit is about health and nutrition. Let's turn it into the restaurant, like I mentioned before, a farmer's market, or even a fitness center. Let's get physical, physical. Remember that? Okay. All right. I went a little far with my dramatic. So, but remember the foods in the area are connected to the different cultures that represents your children in your classroom. Then we also have reduce, reuse, and recycle. And some of us have done this in our classrooms. Now the area becomes a gardening center, or you can even do that outside. That will be even awesome. A farm, or even have your own recycling center in your classroom. So you can choose your play theme based on the children's interests as well. So don't forget that. Nice to take a little kind of like have a little conversation with the children on what they like, or or want to change that dramatic play to. So with that being said, we're going to move on. And what's going to happen? Oh, it's time for a poll, a poll, a poll, a poll. Let's play. Agnes, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's play.
Okay, here we go. Dramatic play, this is a question. Dramatic play is an integral part of a child's social, emotional, and cognitive development. True or false? And Agnes is going to launch the poll. So get ready. Start your clicking, clicking, clicking. I think they know this one, Agnes. There are you.
For sure.
This is so much fun. Are you having fun, everyone? Is everyone having lunch, their dinner and having a good old time with Agnes and Ida and Tiffany in the background? Thank you.
Yes, it's late at night, but we have a really nice group tonight of 63 attendees.
Yay!
Thank you guys for participating. We think, it's hard sometimes to do the trainings at night late. You're probably tired, exhausted. You have so many things to do throughout the day, and then come home, make dinner. So, but this content is not heavy, it's meant to be fun and entertaining. So we do hope that you're enjoying yourself.
Yes.
Okay, let's see the results.
Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. 98% of you said true. Whoop, whoop. Kiss your brain. Yes, it's true. 2% said false, but you were probably chewing and then you probably clicked the wrong thing, but that's okay. It's okay. And we're going to move on. Yes. Oh, love it. All right. Trying to keep you guys up and entertained because we know it is an evening webinar. So thank you for voting. And yes, it is true. So yes, and we're going to keep talking about how everything, integrates and connects. So we're going to talk about what children do and learn. So let it go, let it go. Do you like that? Okay, don't answer all at once. So here we go. So what children do and learn. So the first one we're going to talk about is language and literacy. So this is what happens, what they do and what they learn. So they talk about what they're are doing the pretend play scenarios. And once again, you probably heard them giving out roles, and as they're playing with the materials, they join in conversations with teachers and classmates. So right there, you have gotten language and literacy. Let's see how it connects to math. You're like, what? Dramatic play and math? I don't think so. Yes, we do, because now dramatic play has become a rocket ship, and the children are counting the seats. This is this one seat for the pilot. The second, number 2 seat is for the co-pilot, and number 3 seat is for the navigator or engineer. And you love it when they use those bonus words. I love those bonus words. So also they use 1-to-1 to line up the 3 chairs for the 3 patients maybe that they're going to now is become a doctor's office. And there are 3 chairs, once again, socially distancing the cheap 3 chairs, unless you're in the rocket ship, but you've gotten everything you needed. Recognize the numbers while they're doing a grocery list. Let's say, oh, I need 7 bananas, 4 pears, and 5 mangoes. They have done math. Bing. Okay, let's see the next one. It will be Social and emotional. How's that fall into play? They make and carry out a plan together. They take turns playing different roles and using different props and costumes, and they negotiate and compromise about the plans and use of the materials, and that all falls under social and emotional. And last but not least, it deepens understanding of self and others. So it gains a sense of control by taking on roles of adults, such as a firefighter or doctor, incorporate some community helpers in dramatic play by pretending to be a teacher, a nurse, a delivery person, a chef, a construction worker, or even a firefighter. And you see all that because we have great costumes there. So in the next little slide, Agnes and I are going to take turns reading this great story about community helpers.
Right, thank you, Ida. So yes, we found this cute little book because the first thing the children playing in dramatic play is the community helper, right? The most common theme. So we found a cute little book that you can introduce to your children, and it's community helper 2020 style because it's about our heroes. So I'm going to start first. The world is full of heroes, and when they go and get stuff, those heroes all get going. We can't thank them enough.
Three cheers for the doctors keeping viruses at bay. You are heroes, yes, you are. Hip, hip, hooray!
Let's hear it for the nurses tending patients all day long. You are a hero, yes, you are. You are kind and brave and strong.
Here's to paramedics who save so many lives. You are heroes, yes, you are. We're sending you high fives. Yay!
To each hospital worker, for everything you do, you are heroes, yes, you are. We owe our thanks to you.
To caregivers for our loved ones, as you all play your part, you are heroes, yes, you are. We keep you in our hearts.
We salute delivery people all across the land. You are heroes, yes, you are, and you deserve a hand.
Thumbs up to all the workers in vehicles and in shops. You are heroes, yes, you are. You're putting out all the stops.
Hooray for grocery workers in each and every store. You are heroes, yes, you are. We couldn't love you more.
This one's for us. Let's not forget the teachers in classrooms and online. You are heroes, yes, you are. You encourage kids to shine.
Shout out to the volunteers who give their time for free. You are heroes, yes, you are. On that we all agree.
We're so proud of all our heroes. We clap and shout and cheer. We're all in this together and we'll get through it. Never fear. Yay.
So at the end of this little story, we have a little explanation of each of the community helpers or heroes. So you can introduce it to your little ones and talk to them about each, every one of those, what the roles in our community, and that helps children to learn about what all of us have, what kind of role we play in our community, develop the appreciation and love to everybody who is out there helping each other. So this is a very cute little book that we thought we want to share with you and encourage you to read to your children. So thank you, Ida, so much for all this great information. Ida talked about a moment ago what children do and learn in dramatic play. So now let's talk about how engaging in dramatic play enhances young children's development. Pretending builds social skills, makes children more aware of their own emotions, and encourages shared languages and problem solving. As children play and interact in the Dramatic Play Center in early childhood program, they practice skills in the following areas. And social emotional, I already mentioned. For example, they negotiate in different roles and teams, cooperating to keep the play happening, acting out the roles and situations, They coping with fears. For example, pretend play allows children to explore their fears in the safe settings. A child can begin to conquer her or his fear of doctors by wearing a lab coat and stethoscope and becoming the person who scares her. She replaces her fear with a sense of control. They're working together. For example, firefighters need to negotiate. They have to have a team, right? Who will drive the fire truck? Who will rescue the baby? Whether they're fighting fires, serving, cleaning up after a meal, or feeding the cows, children must plan, compromise, cooperate, share, and communicate, play together. In the physical area, for example, they use large and small muscles to put on the costumes and manipulate the props, washing dishes, or using medical tools. They practice an eye-hand coordination, for example, by using hammer, putting groceries in the bag, and shoes in the correct feet. They practice in early writing skills, for example, by using small clipboard and pen to sign in at the doctor's, dentist, or vet office. In the cognitive area, for example, they thinking of and acting out the story. They organizing and expressing ideas, paying attention to how other people see the world, finding creative solutions to challenges. In the math and science, for example, shoppers give the clerk the money and the clerk gives them the change. That exercise acquaints children with bills and coins and then begin to understand the purpose of money. They also explore concepts related to adding and subtracting. The problem-solving skills, for example, they washing dishes and finding a way to separate the clean utensils from the dirty ones. And the thinking skills, when children pretend, they create pictures in their minds of past experiences and use their imagination to think of new scenarios. These thoughts and images let children think about situations and objects that are not right in front of them and events that have not yet happened. In a language area, they asking and answering questions using language related to a role they play in. For example, may I take your order? They extend their and learning many different words, so vocabulary. Lots of rich vocabulary words are associated with the play pictured here. Stethoscope, hard hat, grocery scanner, cash register, menu, sign-in sheets, clipboard, silverware. In language development, when they're using phone, a child must speak aloud, right? And then anticipate what an imaginary speaker on the other end of the line would say, and then reply accordingly. Pretend play and encourages conversations such as, what are all the groceries for a picnic or dinner? How long is the wait at the doctor's office or the restaurant? Why did you call grandma? In early writing skills, for example, a clipboard and pen on a desk invite children to sign in at the doctor's office, like I mentioned before. Likewise, the sign in the restaurant let the children know that they need to wait to be seated. By helping children post those signs and by sitting them in a restaurant, the teacher encourages reading and writing. So, next, let's talk about what teachers should know about dramatic play. Dramatic play is most effective as a child-centered activity where the children are in charge of the story and decide independently how to act it out. To be successful at dramatic play, children use a variety of different skills that become better with time and practice. Teachers can help children use all of the following skills during dramatic play: role play, pretending to be someone else, use of props, using objects to expand and enhance pretend play, make believe, copying the actions of persons from various settings, example, restaurant server, in-depth play, spending an extended amount of time playing out a theme or idea in dramatic play, and interactions, playing cooperatively with others and exchanging ideas about roles, settings, and other details, and verbal communication, using language skills to act out roles and negotiated play details. So let's play again. It's time for our next poll. Oh, I went too far. Excuse me.
We are so excited to play.
So it's time for the third poll. So let's launch the poll. It's not necessary for teachers to interact with children in dramatic play center. You think it's true or false? Okay, let's see. Cast your vote. Okay, the votes stopped coming. Okay, I'm going to close the poll, share results. Wow, 93% said it's false. That's right. Okay, so let's see what do we have on the next slide. So like Albert Einstein said, it is supreme art of teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. So we do have to interact with children in dramatic play. Like we find out from the video, we are there to enhance children development. We are there to support. We are facilitators, so we're there to help them and suggest some ideas and themes so they can play. So it is supreme art of teacher to awaken join creative expression and knowledge. So what are some of those teacher roles? Just remember, you are still interacting with children in the dramatic play center, but you don't want to overstate your welcome, right? Like we find out from the video, you're there to facilitate. We have to highlight it, and then you step back and you see if you have to come back and suggest something and help the children who might have a trouble. So let's talk about some of those roles. Model pretend play. Use books, songs, or stories to engage children in using their imagination and acting. Take children on adventures where they climb a tree, swing over one, crawl through a cave. Have the children contribute to the adventure by suggesting what happens next. Introduce the area, especially if a dramatic play theme is new to the children. Spend some time in a large group talking about the theme and discussing what children know about it. Read books about the theme to familiarize children, and leave those books in dramatic play areas and to give children ideas. Observe children play. Pay attention to who is playing, the language being used, and roles they are acting out. If play seems to be going smoothly, use this time to notice and document children's physical, cognitive, language, and social emotional skills. Dramatic play can be a great opportunity to observe children in child-led activity. Observing may also give you new ideas for props and dramatic play themes that interest the children. Next, help children enter play. If a child wants to join the play but doesn't know how to get started, help the child find a way to enter the play. Give the child a new prop to bring in or suggest a new role that could enhance the play scenario. Then we have participate as a supporting character. If a play is stuck or children doesn't seem to know what to do next, consider entering the play as a supporting character to give them ideas. If the area is a restaurant, for example, you could sit down at the table and say, "I'm hungry. Will someone please take my order?" And last but not least, have fun. Like Ida mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, when you're enthusiastic, children are enthusiastic and everybody have a good time. So let's talk about setting up successful dramatic play center. Dramatic play allows children to express themselves. We already established that. It is also introduces symbolic thinking and encourages cooperation among children. In dramatic play center, children will often act out behaviors and actions that they see in real life, such as in shopping, in the grocery store, as well as make-believe situations such as a princess in a castle or like in the Frozen, right, Elsa? So consider location of your dramatic play. Good places for dramatic play center might be near a block center or another area where children play tend to be noisy. Ideally, the center should be bordered by shelves and other furniture, table and chairs, or play refrigerator, or walls. Avoid placing the dramatic play center too close to book area or other centers that require quiet concentration. Think about display. There is many things you can use for display. You can use shelves, plastic containers, hooks, shoes, racks or hanging bags, coat racks, and wire basket to display props and in an orderly manner. Be sure to label items with pictures and words where necessary to expose them to the language and writing. Whenever possible, hang up costumes so children can see and they can use it at any time. So make it accessible. Next, let's talk about storage. Store materials in bins or containers on low shelves that gives children easy access. It might be useful to rotate prop boxes, but you're going to talk about the prop boxes shortly. So children have the chance to explore a variety of dramatic play themes. And when you rotate prop boxes, children never get bored because they always have new materials and you rotate another prop box, so it's always something new for them to play. Remember that well-stacked dramatic play center and have a variety of materials. Children can easily become bored, and with using the same materials over and over, they're just going to be bored and restless. So many teachers like to use different prop boxes themes as a way of varying the types of materials for children, like I mentioned before. Remember to have your dramatic play neat and organized, so children should be able to find the materials they want to play with without having to search through a lot of clutter. Also, if the center is organized, the expectation is that the children will help keep it that way. The dramatic play center should be limitless. An inviting and well-stacked dramatic play center encourages children to be creative. With this reason, children should be allowed to follow their imaginations in the dramatic play. So choose some materials and variety, diversity, and make sure that everything is neat and organized well. These are some examples of the pictures. I let teacher labeled all the materials, how it's neat and clean. And here we have a picture of pizza store and some costumes. So make sure that children have access to all the materials and start with a few interesting basic props, offer new props over time, just simple things like hats, scarves, shoes, dresses, fabric with different colors and patterns, masks and capes, boxes, purses and luggage, writing materials, miscellaneous items such as cameras, sunglasses, wand, even cereal boxes from the store. Maybe you're going to have grocery store team. And keep in mind that the props and themes you choose for dramatic play should be appropriate for the ages and developmental level of the children in the group. So nothing that is choking hazard for the little ones. Younger children need more familiar everyday objects such as kitchen items. Preschool and school ages children might enjoy more imaginative themes such as castle or undersea adventures. So choose dramatic play props and themes that match the children's interest and coordinate with curriculum topics. Okay, so here are some examples of those prop boxes I mentioned. So you can store them in the plastic boxes, bins, basket, whatever you have available to you. And here on the bottom of the slide, you see there is a website that you can go to website and get some ideas for prop boxes. So here we have an example of prop boxes for gardening theme, right? Flower gardening. We have a prop box for picnic theme. A dental office with all the tools, all the materials that needed for dental office. Here we have gardening with vegetables. We have a bakery prop box. and post office and pizza store. So you gather all the required materials for the teams and store them somewhere in your classroom, and then throughout the year rotate those materials, and then children never get bored. So some of the additional setup tips: budget stretchers. Just remember to shop for props at garage sales and dollar store with teachers, so we know dollar store very well, right? Start from pots, pans, wooden spoons, plastic plates, utensils, cookbook, recipe cards, tablecloth. Create those prep boxes to respond to children's interest and introduce new themes often, remember, so they don't get bored. And store them, so so children, uh, if they need for something, for example, for auto shop, they can just go and, I want to play auto shop today, so they have all the materials in there. A shoe store or camping trip, and label them with large labels. So, and remember, include children's families and cultures. So invite family members to contribute items from their home cultures, empty food boxes, children's books, photos, props, clothes, and music from their countries. So, make sure that children feel like at home when they play in dramatic play center. And then when you're observing them and they play, acting out something from their home cultures, countries, you can learn a lot about them. So invite family members to come in and talk with children about their work and interest, and get to know each other with the parents as well. So next, I want to read this beautiful quote to you. What children learn does not follow as an automatic result from what is taught. Rather, it is in large part due to the children's own doing as a consequence of their activities, and our resources. So, see, of their activities and our resources. So we have to make sure to give them many resources and variety of materials to help them, uh, kick their imagination and acting out, and they're gonna explore and they're gonna learn a lot. So next we're going to see another video clip with the one of the teams is the bakery. So I'm going to start the video clip. Enjoy. Okay, so once again, here you can see the video link, so you can take a screenshot if you would like to watch it again. So let's summarize all this information so far, how you can encourage dramatic play. So now that we know that dramatic play is important, but how can we incorporate into your kid's schedule, right? The answer is easier than you might think. Kids naturally gravitate towards dramatic play, right? Everybody always wants to play in dramatic play. So they only need a little encouragement from you before they'll be off and running. So again, start a dress-up prop boxes filled with scarves, hats, and other props that children can use as a costume. And remember, these don't have to be full-blown Halloween costumes. Keep it simple to let them use their imagination. If you have the space, it is recommended that you should also try to make a designed area for dramatic play and fill this space with props like paper and pencils, blankets, card boxes, and other items so that the children can put to use and in unstructured pretended play. Don't forget to build free time into your kids' day, to your schedule. They can't initiate dramatic play if their schedules are filled with activities in the other areas. So make sure you have time designated only for free play in dramatic play. Build on children learning during play. Example, pick up another phone and talk to with the child on the other line, on the other phone, and or for example, place a rubber pig on the table with cows, and you can ask, this pig doesn't like grass, so what do you think you can feed them with? Ask the two girls that playing dress up, where are you going? You look so pretty. And ask more thinking questions and just have fun. And you know what? And it's also great to have a place for puppets. So, are you ready? Ready, set, play. Now we go into Ida and the puppet play.
Thank you, Agnes. Yes, now we're going to talk about a place for puppets, what children do and learn. And I love puppets. So, a place for puppets in Dramatic Play Center offers children's opportunity to make puppets, write scripts and stories, and perform a puppet show. Children can work through their feelings and create plots regarding books that they have listened to and read. And as they play with the puppets, children can develop language and literacy, math, and art skills. And how does this happen? Let's see. So let's talk about literacy and language. So with the puppets, they can act out a story after hearing it. They can write a script or story for a puppet show. They can place letters on a flannel board, and that connects language and literacy. The next thing is like, how does math play into puppets? When they're creating their puppets, so let's say they're making a puppet sock face, how many googly eyes are they going to glue on the puppets? Maybe it's three, maybe it's four, maybe it's an exciting sock puppet. So they may also cut the fabrics to cut curtains for their puppet stage. We need curtains, Miss Ida and Miss Agnes, so we need to make our curtains. We can help them with that. And then handling out, now you have a show, so you have to hand out tickets. How many tickets, how many people are attending? Let's see how many people we have in our audience. How many tickets did you collect? And then last but not least is making your puppet. Your version, it may be connected with a book, like The Very Hungry Caterpillar, or put on a puppet show of you, a visit to the dentist. The puppet show can be limited. So as teachers, we like to do things in a budget. So we're in the next slide, we're going to talk about those setups and budget stretches that we do, because that's what we do. Teachers, we can stretch that dollar. So setting up, place open shelves next to a table so the children can have easy access to the supplies and puppets. Provide books about puppets and storybooks to inspire them writing a play or the puppet show. Use a basket to store props. Keep the puppet theater area clear so that the children have easy access to it. If it's somewhere locked up, not easy access to it. So, and also post photos and pictures of puppets from various cultures on the walls. There's so many puppets throughout this beautiful world of ours, and you can connect it to our children. And then underneath each puppet that they create, note that what tradition or where it came from, or what child developed or created that puppet that's connected to their culture. Budget stretchers, you know us, we, donate. Hey, parent, you have this, and that. Our favorite place is the Dollar Tree, the thrift stores, and it's, those good yard sales that we used to have before COVID. Like I said before, ask families, hey, can you donate some brown paper bags, some old washed socks? We can use them, fabric strips, and all these things to make puppets. Remember, again, like I said before, and we've been saying throughout the presentation, include the family's culture in the puppet show performance. Ask families to suggest some books, maybe some folk tales, some songs, some stories that they can turn into a play. Hold a family workshop, and maybe you can do inexpensive a puppet theater yourself. You don't have to, buy it. I mean, you can make it. And then you see the website there on how you can make puppet theaters and things like that. So take a quick picture of it in order for you to enhance your dramatic play with puppets. So in the next slide, I'm going to talk about some of the puppets. So puppetry requires puppets or a variety of materials for making puppets. So children may need books regarding puppets, papers, markers, strips of material, socks, many things, how to make the tickets, writing their own little story regarding the puppet show. So people can be very, very creative, and then the children perform to the audience. Teachers and children can make puppets to play the characters in a story or represents animals, family members, or community helpers to provide we have a handout at the end that will show you on ways to make puppets. So here in the screen, you'll see a 2-stick or a dragon puppet. Amazing. Isn't it beautiful? Love it, love it. Then we have 1-stick puppets like the little horsey. And then you have other things that you can make as a 1-stick puppet. You can also make felt puppets, as you see the squirrels here. And then you can make fuzzy animal puppets. You can make oversized puppets. You can make big mouth puppets. You can make family puppets. Here's the family. How cute is that? So there's so many different ways. And with this one, you can incorporate their cultures. Love puppets. Don't you just want to go right now and make a puppet? I think so. All right. So let's talk about this quote that I'm going to read from Jean Piaget. I just love saying his name. Thank you very much. Okay, children have real understanding only of which they invent themselves. Take that in for a second. Great quote from a great teacher, because Jean Piaget was a teacher besides being a theorist. But us as teachers in teaching students or children, we tendency sometimes to kind of maybe over or spoon feed them too much, or even force feed when we want them to do it kind of our way. As Agnes and I've been talking all this evening, you kind of facilitate, you go in there, kind of, give your little 2 cents, and then see that everything's going well, and just step away and let them, go for it. So giving information seems to be the quickest way that we transfer knowledge. No, it's like this. But to be honest, it's the least effective form of teaching. If we, however, pay more attention to the other related factors and think out of the box, learning becomes meaningful and readily accepted. So Jean Piaget is not referring to the learner's immediate environment, but other tangible factors like the purpose of learning, motivation, self-belief, and all these critical factors in order to ensure that learning is engaging. So remind ourselves not to be overly presumptuous when teaching a class. First, provide the conditions in which they can receive, and then only do proceed to deliver the contents, and then kind of like, step away. So let's make sure to provide children choices of hands-on activities, experiences, have a safe and engaging and rich environment in order for them to explore, and these emotional supports and the quality of feedback you give them to bust their worthiness and self-belief and ensure that learning engagement happens. And you see that a lot in dramatic play, as we have mentioned before. Oh, whoa, what time is it? It's time to play. We're taking a poll. Okay, here we go. Which of the Florida learning standards and development what? Let's take that again. Whoop, rewind. Which of the Florida early learning and development, see, I'm too excited. Standards domain can we connect to dramatic play? Social and emotional development, approach to learning, literacy, language and literacy, or all the above. And Agnes will launch the poll. You can see now it's late because I can't talk. Sorry. Agnes launched that poll.
There you go.
Thank you, Agnes. And let's see. I think you guys all know this, you
Of
know.
course they do.
Yes. It was like,
We have an awesome audience tonight.
yes. Thank you. Thank you once again for being with us and, having fun. Are you guys having fun? Yes. Yeah, I feel it. Woohoo. Hands up. All right. Okay. Encouraging there. How's it going, Agnes?
Wow, the votes are coming so fast. Everybody's are engaging. Thank you for your votes. This is our last poll. And
Yes.
remember, they all just might be the 5 posted questions. Who knows?
Yes. They might be the same questions. Hint. Okay. Let's
Okay,
see. You ready for the results?
there you go.
98, all the above. Yes, woohoo, kiss your brain. Okay, that 2%, it's okay, but it's 98% all the above. Yes, and we've kind of talked about it all evening. So with that being said, ta-da, here we go. Florida Early Learning and Development Standards, Birth to Kindergarten. And we are talking about creative expression through the arts and domains. But you know that, you've probably been always looking at this book and doing all these great standards, but we will review the 8 domains that are in the Florida standards, which is physical development, approach to learning, social and emotional development, language and literacy, mathematical thinking, scientific inquiry, social studies, and the one that we've been talking tonight, creative expression through the arts. Yup, that's what I'm talking about. So we all know this book, very familiar with it. So the next we're going to talk about some examples that some things that we can do in order to enhance and with the creative expression through the arts, that imaginative and creative play. So how can we do this? Help children plan activities and role play, asking them why and how questions to understand their decisions. Organize visits to a show or a local children's theater, which is great. That's the best. I love that one. Provide children with a variety of open-ended and diverse materials. Make available different types of clothing and dress-up props, giving children crayons and papers, and invite them to draw what they remember from the short story that you have read to them. Show children how to make puppets that we talked about in the puppet show and different types of puppets. Help children listen for the beat in the music and count our different movements. See, you're incorporating math there. And reading books and discuss what the story was about and the characters that were in the story. That is one way that we enhance and get these great information and observations as we're seeing them. That's another webinar. So let's look at this as this little picture that we have on the slide, and this is imaginative and creative play. And as we're looking at the picture, we'll see what the children are doing. Are they role playing? Are they pretending to be in a coffee shop? If you answered yes to all this, let's see how we connect them to the Florida standards. First one, language and literacy. Engage in conversation with peers using complex and a variety of vocabulary. Yes, you can see that. I can feel it. Creative expression, see acting out roles, seek multiple situations to a problem. Social and emotional development, see they cooperate with peers, identify personal preferences and thoughts and feelings as they're acting out this scenario. And approach to learning, they're being flexible and they're using their imagination and plan activities with their peers. And you can feel that they plan this with each other. Yay! Look at that. Aren't we awesome? That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to ask questions to ask children in dramatic play. And sometimes we tend to be a little kind of short with this one. So let's read this. I'm going to read this to you. So your student comes to you dressed up as one of the community helpers, and you look at him and say something like, "Wow, you look so cute." We kind of said that sometimes, right? And then you send him away. Okay, away, go to play. And that's pretty much it. While there is nothing wrong with the scenario, if you want your child to think critically and creatively about himself, you could use this opportunity to ask some of these questions that will be popping up on the slide. What would you do if you ran out of water or the fire truck broke down? How can you make sure the building won't topple over? Great question, right? What would you like? What did you like about your dress up clothing? What title would you give the puppet show? And why? You know, why did you use the spoon for your soup? Why do you use a spoon for your soup? How were you feeling when you made this pizza? If you were a chef, what would you fix for lunch? Mm. Why did you call the doctor? How long is the wait at the doctor's office? Why would you like to be a doctor? And then keep going. What are all those groceries? Are all those groceries for a picnic or dinner? Oh, where are you and your baby going on the bus? And why are you going there? What are you going to see? You can go on and on. And there's a nice handout on this. So don't forget to download that one. But these are the great questions instead of just saying, oh, you look so nice and send them away and they keep playing. But you really want to ask these deep questions for them to be critically thinking about, yeah, why did I, why would I, want to be a doctor? Okay, move on, Ida. So now we're going to show you some books that we highly recommend that and we feel that are great books for you to have in your classrooms. These are fiction books that like Mr. Cookie Bakery, Pizza at Sally. When there's a book about pizza, children will be drawn to it. Put it on the list. And the Great Five Little Monkeys, but this time they're baking a birthday cake. And Macy's goes camping and the rabbit pajama party. And Sally goes to the vet, as I was talking all that, and a pair of socks. Woo woo! Oh, love that one. So, and these are more books about that you can have in dramatic play, tacos, soup day, pizza day, birthdays. We're always celebrating the children's birthday, and I want to be a chef. And there's more of the different community helpers and that you can want to be. So, and then last but not least, we're going to talk about some multicultural books. I love World Pizza, different ways of making pizzas around the world. Love it. And tamales, you can't have too many tamales. Ay, qué bueno. And what can you do with paella? And then, Cora cooks panit. I think that's how you say it. And look how great, and because we are multicultural wonderfulness in our classrooms, and of course incorporate that in your classroom. And with that being said, we're going to read a little story to you. And go, Agnes.
That's right. Thank you, Ida. Yes, these are all great books. We can incorporate them in our dramatic play, and we can also incorporate some recipes. Teach them to teach children how you make those different cultural foods. So this is all great books. And this one we wanted to share with you. Hi, Pizza Man. That is great to have in a dramatic play. Introduce it to children, and then you can have your children acting up those little roles and characters there are in this little book. So Ida will be playing the role of the little girl named Vivian, and I'm going to be her mom. So Ida.
Mama, hungry.
I know you're hungry, Vivian. It's so hard to wait for the pizza man to come. He'll be here soon. What will you say when the doorbell rings and we open the door?
Hi, pizza man.
What if it's not a pizza man? What if a pizza woman? Then what will you say?
Hi, pizza woman.
What if it's not a pizza woman? What if it's a pizza kitty? Well, then what will you say?
Meow, meow, pizza kitty.
What if it's a pizza dog? Then what will you say?
Roof, roof, pizza dog in the house. Okay, sorry.
What if it's pizza dog? Then what will you say?
Quack, quack, pizza duck.
What if it's a pizza cow? Then what will you say?
Moo, pizza cow.
What if it's a pizza snake? Then what will you say? What if it's a pizza dinosaur? Then what will you say?
Roar, pizza dinosaur.
Ring ring.
Hi, pizza man.
Yeah, so this is a very funny book and it's very easy. It's a couple of different characters so kids can dress up and they can play it out in a dramatic play. We can just model a little bit for them and then we can create the costumes with them and have the creative skills incorporated. So this is a great book to introduce your children for dramatic play. So next, Ida is going to go over some of the handouts that we provided for you for today's presentation. So go ahead, Ida.
Okay, so remember that you're going to get your certificate emailed to you to the email that you signed up, and that give us 24 hours for you to get that. And then remember in the handouts, you the little triangle, you click it and download it to your computer, laptop, and it's in PDF file, and we'll give you a little preview. And we're almost done with our show, so it's exciting. Okay, so here we go. So the first handout is what Agnes talked about earlier, the 5 reasons of dramatic play for child development. And the next one next to it is information and tips regarding dramatic play and home living experiences. That is great handout for you because we're good at this. The next one is dramatic play objectives. And these are questions to promote thinking, children's thinking in all the learning areas. So block, art, dramatic play, and so on. So the handout is there for you. That one is great. So now you have those questions that you can ask. And then
And these are just to add, Ida, that we gave you the handout not only for dramatic play. When you
right.
open the document, you're gonna have explanation and open-ended question for all your centers in your classroom. So we wanted to give
Yes.
it to you so you can post them in each learning center.
Yes, exactly, Agnes, because we love giving a plethora of information to you guys. And the last but not least is the dramatic play learning center checklist. This is great to know if what you can do because you need to change it up and enhance it. And then the last one that we were talking about, that ways to make puppets. So that is the last handout we have for you, and it tells you the different ways that that you can make puppets. These are the references we use in order to develop this webinar and presentation tonight. And then Agnes will take us to the end of our show, our presentation. Take it away, Agnes.
Thank you, Ida. So if you have any questions, here's our information. So you can contact us, and here is my email address, and here is Ida's address. And please don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Here are our social media platforms that we post a lot of events and things going on in ELC of Broward. We have a great story time reading by our coworkers in Spanish and English and Creole. So and go and enjoy yourself. Also, wanted to show you upcoming webinars on Tuesday, January 19, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Beyond Curiosity, How Infants and Toddlers Learn. Our awesome Stephanie Bernard, our manager, will be presenting, and so you don't want to miss this one. It's going to be great. And then on Thursday, January 21st, 1 to 2:30 p.m., yours truly, Ida and I, will be presenting webinar Get Classy with Toddlers when we're going to talk about the teacher-child interaction in toddler classroom. So go ahead and sign up, register for those two. And also you can go to our elcbroward.org website and to our training calendar. So you can find different kinds of trainings and webinars, and also watch videos of previously presented webinars by our co-workers from our education team. So before we let you go, I know we are 3 minutes over our time, but we wanted to read you a letter from us to you. Dear teacher, dear tired teacher, when the expectations begin to feel impossible, remember because of you, today someone smiled, made a connection, became more confident, and felt loved. So don't give up. And thank you. Thank you for all you do for our children and families here in our community of Broward County. We are know how essential you are. We appreciate you. On behalf of Early Learning Coalition and myself and Ida will have a couple of words for you too. We wanted to wish you a happy, healthy, and safe 2021. We hope to see you soon face to face and hands on, work with you and support you in your daily activities in your classroom. So thank you so much. Ida?
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Happy New Year. I know with COVID, things change a little bit, like in the stuff that we presented today on, the clothing and puppets because of COVID, but we're teachers. We're going to think out of the box and we're going to provide these wonderful experience to our children, especially, they can make the puppet and the puppet goes home with them. So, as teachers, we're always thinking out of the box and, yes, COVID changes a lot of rules on what we can and cannot do, but we are going to be we are going to get through this, and we're going to have those children still engaged and having fun in school as they should. Be safe, everyone. Thank you for all your hard work, and I know sometimes it could be tiring, but thank you, and you have a great evening. Thank you. If you have any questions, email us, Agnes and I. Thanks. Thank you,
Thank you.
Agnes.
Thank you, Ida, and thank you, Ms. Tiffany, for supporting us in every webinar. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Have a good night and see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.